Craig, you've been a part of some pretty big wins here at the Storm, but in terms of that performance in that second half, have you ever seen anything like it?
Nah, not really. With all due respect, I don't want to. The Warriors had a lot of things go wrong for them in the second half. Obviously, with those injuries, I don't date anyone on the bench, and obviously that was a pretty serious injury to Dallin, and that sort of put a sombre mood, I suppose, on them. Just looking at the stats there, second half, they only had 7 sets in the second half, and they only completed 2, I think. I don't think I've ever seen that or heard of that in a game of rugby league before. So a lot of things went against the Warriors, but having said that, I can't really fault too much of what we did. It was a really dominant performance, and real happy with obviously the outcome, but really happy with the performance of our players.
Especially considering the first half, it was 6 points in it.
Yeah, it was a real arm wrestle. That first half, it was, I imagine it'd be a pretty good game for you to watch. Actually, the completions were pretty high. It was a little bit like last week, I think. The first half was, a lot of ball in play, and so I think, and again, that they really completed well in the first half, and I think we scored 2 of our tries off their errors. So and they only made 2 errors. So it wasn't as if we were probably, we didn't score our points off our footy. We probably scored them off their mistakes, So, but that obviously changed the second half. And as I said, I don't want to take any of the gloss away from our players either and how they played. But there wasn't much went right for the Warriors in the second half.
Craig, how pleased are you to see the way Xavier's taken on his role and the way he sort of attacked that game tonight, getting 4 tries, chasing down a couple of sort of long ball or difficult balls?
Yeah, he's been tremendous, really. He's well versed. I've given him a wrap after pre-season. He really put in a big pre-season. I think the last couple of weeks he's probably been a little bit down in confidence, and just our right side probably haven't been at their best defensively. Just with their cohesion and our working together, and I think he got a little bit down about that. But the one thing about Xavier, whatever he does flat out, and that's what we love about him. And you just see, just what you described there. He went flat out a few times tonight, and that's why he got a couple of those tries. So we love having him in our side, and he's a really valuable member of our team now.
Ryan, were you surprised by the way in which the Warriors folded in that second half?
I think Craig nailed it on the head. They had no one on the bench and lost some pretty crucial players. So, it's always tough. And I think sort of from our behalf, I think the way we sort of executed and, we didn't sort of fall into the trap of making errors and everything like that. We were pretty relentless tonight. So that's what I'm pretty proud of. But in saying that, they had a few of the boys go down, and it's never a nice thing, and guys playing in different positions, and that's sort of probably the story of the second half.
Was it your ankle? I mean, you're probably rested as well, but was it your ankle, and does it still give you any grief, or?
It's all right. It's just one of those things you just got to deal with. But lucky enough, the big fella gave me a little breather there in the end. So it's all good. It's all good. Just no point sort of finishing that last 15 minutes. We're going to sort of come off, and Munster put his hand up to play fullback as well. He's been chomping at the bit to do that for a while. So just precautionary.
Craig said that you've put some muscle on, some weight on in the gym in the off season and that.
You seen him with his shirt off?
Not allowed to anymore.
Everybody else has. He don't often have a shirt on, actually. Sorry, mate.
No, it's all right. Take it.
I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, has that helped your game, I suppose?
Yeah, just giving me a bit more confidence, I think. I don't know if I put more weight on or they've tuned the scales up so it makes it look like I've put more weight on. But, I think I was just taking the pressure off myself to try do it and just let it naturally happen. And a bit older now, a few more years in this system and knowing what it's all about and just getting into a routine. So with all of that, a little bit of weight gain helped. But at the same time there, I think there's a video going around of the ball boy chasing me down. So might be losing a bit of speed. But, it's just giving me a bit more confidence.
Craig, we're getting to that point of the season where people start talking about Origin and who's in what team. The bloke sitting next to you, is he starting to make an undeniable case that he should be in the Blues side?
Yeah, it's a pretty tough one there for me. To answer that, because I'd love to see him in there, and I think he deserves to be there. But you have a look at I suppose the incumbent, is Tedesco, and again, I must say I haven't watched closely, probably how he's been going, but he's been one hell of a player for New South Wales, and he is one hell of a player. So, I think last year we were really made aware of how many great fullbacks we've got, eligible to play for New South Wales, and I thought, perhaps would be a chance last year to perhaps go in on the bench, and again, it's up to the selectors, but you can see sort of both sides, but he can't. The one thing I will say, he can't do any more than what he's doing to keep knocking on the door, and hopefully he'll get a start there at some stage.
Ryan, James Tedesco is obviously the captain and the fullback, but if he's fully fit, would the role of a bench player or to add that impact role, is that something I know you did here at the start of your career, is it something you feel like you could do now, especially when you're talking about putting some weight on as well and maybe playing in the middle?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it too much, to be honest. It's at a pretty special club here where you feel valued regardless of whatever teams you make, and that's what I'm pretty grateful for. I haven't really thought too much about Origin, to be fair, and it's probably a good thing. You play good footy and you get picked in those sides, but I'm in a good footy team at the moment and valued here, and love this team, so that's sort of what I'm focusing on, but it's a hard one. I haven't really thought about it.
Ryan, you passed one of Cameron Smith's records tonight with most points in an Anzac game. Is that a pretty good accomplishment to take one of his records away from him?
I don't think I'll be getting too many more of his, so I'll take it. That's pretty cool, but at the same time, the boys score the tries and I just kick them over the goal, so they did have to give them the rap for that.
Will you critique some of the other guys who kicked after you came off? There's probably a few ones there that might need some work.
Well, I can't talk myself. I was pretty shocking tonight, but I think it's safe to say Harry's lost his licence.
Ryan, can you take us through
Never to kick again.
Can you take us through the set play with Nelson? Because that was obviously he called it, or did you call it, or?
No, so we'd seen during the week. How good was that? He hasn't stopped talking about it either. So skillful footy side, and Rucky's doing that. It's pretty cool. But just put myself in the picture there. But I don't know if he has a kicking licence, but he might after that.
Is that the playbook, Craig?
It certainly hasn't been, but
Might be now.
yeah, it might be now. And if someone said that was going to happen, I thought it would have been the other way around. Perhaps kicking it for Nelson, perhaps. But but anyway, it's come off good for us. It was a pretty important stage of the game, to be quite honest. So it was nice the boys were able to get it executed. Yeah.
How does Reece?
He seemed okay. He was in there singing the song. So obviously he got ruled out. So like I say, I'm not quite sure exactly why, whether he didn't pass test or whether he wasn't feeling well or whatever. But but he seems okay in there now. Yeah.
Greg, Nathan Brown was just saying before that he felt a few of his players just started giving up in the second half. How much of a coach killer is that, and do you feel for Brownie in a way?
Oh yeah, as I said, I really felt for the whole team to be honest, and obviously for Brownie as well to have that amount of injuries. And as I said, when Dallin went down, I think everyone thought that was like a real major injury, and I think that can sort of have an effect on your players, to be quite honest. They're feeling for their teammate and they're not quite sure exactly what's wrong with him, but they think it's pretty serious. So I think it did have an effect on his teammates.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. And girls.